come back, full director came back, caught his ass. Put his ass out in the sweeping cans. Couldn't walk, couldn't see no light for days before they brought his boy back to him just to get him to quit. I reckon that boy's still out there, maybe. I trusted my Jimmy. I guess he's back. Couldn't tell him how those tapes would last. Poor boy, I knew how much he needed those tapes. Kept the boys company when they ain't had no soup. Boy, don't think my soup ain't no good. I trusted my Jimmy to get back before nightfall. But the tapes always let me keep my hopes up at night. Before the sun went down, I birthed him that way.
Pa! Pa! I'm hungry, Pa!
We don't have much food left. We got a spacking.
But Pa!
Don't you remember what happened yonder?
What happened, Pa?
Those two boys were killed down by the creek looking for food. We'd best keep to our resources.
But Pa!
Time to put in the headphones and play the tapes. Squat down by the river, downriver. Let Poppy play his tapes.
You gonna play the wine tape, Pa?
We'll find out where.
Play the Magnus Awesome Space tape, Pa!
I'll just play this tape labeled wine. Wine. You know about wine. I have a collection of corkscrews, screwed up all in slow. I dip my sandwich in it. Wait for it to ferment. You don't want this wine. Rich, thick wine. All over my body while I'm waiting for her to come back. With her beer drinking toes. Push that wine right in front of my face, in front of that wine table. I found an extra case in an abandoned home. Teddy bears everywhere. I keep it in my secret cat.
Pa!
Do you know what tape this is?
That's your wine tape, Pa!
You hungry? Wine makes me hungry.
Can we get a shower, Pa?
It'll be some time before we come to the city. I reckon we best find shelter before nightfall.
Do I get the sleeping bag this time, Pa?
We don't have much sleeping bag left. Night range has been coming on strange lately. You best stay up and watch while I organize my tapes.
Magnus tape, Pa?
I don't have the Magnus Awesome Space Werewolf tape. You'd best stand watch while Pappy gets a few winks. Keep an eye out for the wolves. That's the most important thing. I reckon must have felt like ages before the sun came up again.
Change the whole idea, right?
Oh, I can see where they're coming from.
And see, I'm an older fan. You know, I saw the original series, the pilot, up till season 3. It was all me. I was Magnus. I played Magnus.
You took over Magnus. Wait, hold on. Wait, what were you saying?
Oh, you know, Magnus Awesome Space Werewolf, he took over Magnus Awesome Space. He took over Magnus. I mean, I guess they thought they were remake just close to the original, idea.
Yeah, I heard that guy totally improved that scene.
The writing's genius, though.
I heard they're taking it into a 5th season.
Turn on your space, guys. There's no oxygen. Where are we going?
TV was more precious in those days. More precious than we knew it would ever become in our day. Female characters became scarce. It's a whole mystification of big old titties dangling off the head of confusion. I never knew whether Jimmy made it through the night or not.
Pa? Pa? When are we gonna take these symbols back to the scrap shop, Pa?
It'll be a while before we find another scrap shop. That was 5 towns ago. We best keep the dogs away.
But Pa, aren't we drawing attention?
These are silver symbols, Jimmy.
What if we attract night raiders, Pa?
They'll just think we're a traveling band on tour. We haven't got no weapons. We haven't got much. What we have is symbols and half a sleeping bag.
Pa, what about Magnus, Pa?
Magnus Awesome Space Werewolf?
That's it, Pa. We're missing a few episodes.
Weren't many episodes made. Entertainment's precious, boy. Last episode was left on a cliffhanger before production quality went downhill. They fired Lomax.
Who replaced him, Pa?
Magnus Awesome Space Werewolf.
That's the name of the show, Pa.
They brought him back, I suppose.
What about the Union? I didn't read anything about that, Pa.
Keep quiet and let Pappy put in one of his tapes.
I wasn't always running wine. I was a beer man. Kept cases outside for the bottle collectors. Gave them a tip and had a woman too. I gave the woman a tip too. I heard them speak and they said, Cyrus, 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 Cyrus. Cyrus loved his wine. Probably more than he loved anyone or anything in the world. More than I loved my Jimmy. My morning Jimmy. I trusted him. And I don't know where he got that boy he kept around him so much. I'm sure he'll be here anyway.
Pa? Pa!
Yes, boy?
When we gonna stitch up the sleeping bag?
Might be a while before we come up on some stitches, son. You just use the rocks. Remember how I told you to make nature your friend?
But Pa, I got itches.
I thought you was hungry, boy. There's a sandwich some here in this sleeping bag.
I can't keep the zipper down, Pa.
Son, we have to respect the opportunities we've been given.
Pa? Pa!
What's that, son?
There's a farmhouse up ahead. What if there's pepperoni in it, Pa?
Don't get your hopes up, son. For all we know, every house within 5 miles has been raided by robbers and thieves.
We have to check, Pa.
Let me consult the tapes.
2 mark glared across the casino. It was gross. Cyrus poured himself another glass of wine, whispering to the dame next to him at the table. The drink wasn't so much a drink as a cold, hardened goblet of human fat. The woman puckered her lips at him. He whispered slowly, "Don't take pepperoni from a farmhouse."
I don't feel good about this, boy. We should keep moving.
We could use some firewood, Pa.
Well,
Please, Pa.
all right. But we must move on soon. Nightfall's coming.
I used to stand out in a frosty night. I whispered to Mark into the pines. I didn't know what possessed my Jimmy and the boy to go into that cabin. Little did they know Mark was waiting for him. For my Jimmy.
Quiet, Pa. I'm scared.
We ain't got much quiet, son. But you find that pepperoni and maybe...
Do you hear that, Pa?
This is an old building. I reckon we best wear a helmet.
Pa, where's my helmet?
We only have half a sleeping bag, son. We had to leave the helmets in the abandoned stock exchange.
I'm scared, Pa.
Stay behind me, boy. Could be wine-drinking Cyrus. Could be a gang of hustlers, marauders, the types unheard of before, with sharp sticks.
What if there's gold in there, Pa?
We have no use for gold in these times, son. Food is most precious, even to the most dangerous and greedy marauder in the world.
Is he here, Pa?
I don't know, son. Why don't you go down yonder and take a gander and let Pappy listen to his tapes? You're just like your mother.
I'm so glad they didn't bring that character back.
Well, you know, Timothy Wells, he wasn't on the original writing team. He really wanted to spice up the chick, and everyone's like, fuck you. And he was like, no, I got a pay cut.
He used to write for Spacecraft magazine.
Yeah, but you could always tell they kept him on a tight leash. Cyberpunk, space punk, whatever was popular, doing one-word articles.
Big bucks.
But I hate it when they call it selling out or whatever. A writer has to make money too.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can write. But you ain't Timothy fucking Wells.
Pa? Pa! Someone's down here.
Don't get too close, son.
He's breathing, Pa, but he's hurt real bad.
Don't get near him. The scent of blood attracts wolves.
But Pa, we gotta help him.
Jimmy's heart was always kind. Real natural and sweet, like a sip of Cyrus's best wine. Maybe he was too kind. Lord knows better than anyone. But when we went down into that farmhouse, wasn't a man in the world could stop him.
Poudre, where you gotta go? When you gotta find that good wine. Where you gotta go? Poudre. One of the finest wines of all time. I was hauling concrete for Poudre back in '83. If anyone told me how good that wine was, boy, I would shoot a man. Didn't know those wines were teleporting themselves in and out of Poudre 40 years. Wouldn't have believed it. Would have shit your pants.
Here he is, Pa.
What's he look like, boy? I can't see much in this dark. Oh, wait, I see him.
I've been down here for 15 years. Kid no shit.
He's hurt, Pa.
Not bad enough.
Where's my puppet? He's missing something, Pa. Let's help him find it.
It's a dummy. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I got some pepperoni in the if you help me find him. He said he'll give us food if we help him find it, Pa.
Well, I'll be a fascist pepper. Might be Eddie Freddy's uncle.
You said food was important, Pa.
I don't want to make a habit of making puppets a priority.
I'm hungry, Pa. I can't ingest food. He's been protecting it, Pa.
He's probably one of them ventriloquist mutants up yonder South Mountains. Downward in, moving around.
I'm hungry, Pa. I have a million pepperonis if you help me find my dummy.
We have better things to worry about than your puppets.
Does he have sex with his puppets, Pa?
I don't know. Don't ask him.
A billion pepperonis.
Just promises from a desperate mountain boy. Now that's enough. We'll do your dirty work, but you can keep your naughty pepperonis.
But I'm hungry, Pa.
He was hungry. Hungriest boy I ever knew in those times. But Tumark told me he was stealing food long before the famine hit. Told me never to trust him. I don't rightly know if I trust Tumark either. But put the two in a room together and I'd cut the boy's head open. Interrogator from Lebanon. Old sour spots for Tumark. That boy never paid him back. Poudre. Shit, boy.
This is a Poudre Fine Wine alert. If you find a Poudre body, Poudre Fine Wines is not responsible for loss of sight, hearing, or any medically related injuries. This is a Poudre Fine Wine alert.
The dark, sweaty alleyway began to ring in Tumark's ears. Beyond every foul smell and behind every foul sight. It was the same night he was kicked in the head. He felt wheezy, out of sorts. He was trying to get to a hotel room, but he had no money. In a small Californian STD town, above the gravity of his grisly nethers, he was wearing a belly shirt and a helmet. This is the end of side 1. Please turn the cassette over for side 2.
You found that puppet yet? What'd he say, Pa?
Not much, boy. I gave up 5 minutes ago. Times are too rough for pepperoni anyway.
A million pepperonis.
We know. Goddamn 8x10 pepperoni cabin factory in here with no power.
He has red lips. He's got red lips, Pa.
Oh, then this must be him.
Give him to me.
Goddamn.
You found it, Pa.
Now we found him for yous. Now we best move on.
Don't you want your pepperonis?
We'll do without. Boy's been doing without for a long time.
I have, Pa.
A long time.
Give your boy some food.
Got any tapes to keep me occupied?
Yeah, here's one of my demo tapes. Got from before the fan. Sub Pop Records won't mail me back my demo. They sent me a piece of shit in a middle envelope with no return postage.
I'll take a gander at it.
Help yourself to the pepperonis. I don't see any, Pa.
If you tricked us into some kind of Poudre hootenanny fuckity skip farm,
Poudre has the best wine.
Who told you that?
You can have as many as you want. I found the pepperoni, Pa. Let's get out of here.
We'll be on our way. You just keep playing with your puppets and eating nothing. Let's go, boy.
Pa!
My Jimmy had half a mind to let him eat the mutant. Least he'd scored himself a puppet out of the deal. Mark hasn't come back. I wonder where he is. I don't know where he is. He was under the impression
Poudre has the best wines. Finest you ever tasted. Ever will taste. Have a taste. Have a big old taste. Poudre. You just screw that cork in nice and slow. Pull it out like a pimento in an olive. Salty and sweet at the same damn time. You ain't never tried no wine like this. Dark wine coat your stomach like the devil's dick protruding in a Poudre-shaped bottle. Y'all never forget that. A lot of money been brought into Poudre. Spread it all around town.
Pa? Pa! Do we have any money, Pa?
I suspect money's of no value in these times. Let your pappy listen to his tapes.
It's getting dark, Pa. What if the puppet man's behind us?
He don't eat, don't sleep. All we got is half a sleeping bag and a bag of marshmallows.
Are we out of pepperoni, Pa?
Didn't have much pepperoni, son. Puppet man was traveling. Traveling puppet man.
Did you say we had marshmallows, Pa?
On closer inspection, son, you'll find that's a huge bag of aspirin.
I wish we had some wine, Pa.
Where'd you pick up a taste for that wine?
Sire's been stomping around giving out Poudre bottles.
Checkers and wine with Cyrus, boy. Checkers and wine. I don't know if your grandma be too happy about you trying that wine.
I don't think Grandma likes me, Pa.
I never liked that boy much. I knew Mark had him on the dope, and that boy was jonesing. Said it is all crack in a bottle. Poudre took it across the state line. That boy was an evil son of a bitch, cut and dried. Would have skinned his own paw for a bottle of that Poudre, though he'd always prefer the pepperoni. But I imagine he'd eat pepperoni out of a bottle of Poudre just to piss his granny off. He was a mean son of a bitch. Just a real mean one. Poudre was my only friend.
Mark couldn't believe his eyes. 2 big, sweaty breasts. 2 big, sweaty, naked breasts, held back with tight red suspenders, meant for baggier sweatpants. Mark couldn't believe this shit. He took a swig and winked at Cyrus. "I'm gonna talk to Tanya, Cyrus," he said. "I wouldn't," Cyrus replied, pulling the suspenders back and letting them go, making a fat, wet slapping sound right on the nipple, rippling in the huge breast. Tanya smiled wider. "Why is that?" Mark said. "Tanya," Cyrus started. "Well, Tanya's only a figment of your imagination. You don't recognize those sweatpants?" Mark looked around the bar. He was alone. "I don't think that was Poudre, Cyrus."
I try to explain how good this wine is. Makes you see things. Big old breasts. Sagging ripples of hairy burger down to your knees.
Makes you want to pull your undies down and lick your crack in your sleep. No poudre there.
Son, you wouldn't happen to have any batteries now, would you?
This is a Poudre Fine Wine alert. If you find a Poudre body, Poudre Fine Wines is not responsible for loss of sight, hearing, or any medically related injuries. This is a Poudre Fine Wine alert.
The next time on I Trusted My Jimmy. Pa! I haven't eaten in days, Pa!
I haven't got much left but a bag of beans.
I trusted my Jimmy so much I gave him a bulldog shit. That's why I drink my Poudre wine.
I'm back, so you better have some fucking trumpets, you sons of bitches.
He's not going to kill all of us, but he may kill you, son.
The next time on the next I Trusted My Jimmy.